How is the Emergency Fund grant helping you serve the community?
Well, it's helping us stay open, and that's the most important thing. There's no the access to essential services are really limited, and it's us alone for a lot of people. And so the fact that it can keep us open, this is good gap funding for us while we wait for larger grants to come through to keep us open longer throughout the COVID crisis. But this is really essential gap fundings, because everything we can do now is preventative, and we're really, really grateful.
But at our college, most of our classes are delivered in person. So coming to the campus every day is really a big part of going to college there. We offer daily support services for our students. We provide meals on campus for our students. There's a lot of things that happen to support our students on campus. Some students even would come to the college on days when they didn't even have classes, just to have that supportive environment. It's a safe place to go for everybody, and we know everybody on a first name basis. They know us as far as the staff and administration that's there. So we're really like a big family that comes together there, and whatever is going on with a student at their home, they know they can come to the college and be safe and be supported there. So our campus offered a lot of security and support service. Unfortunately, when COVID started, we completely closed on March 16th. We had to cancel that first week of classes, and we were kind of lucky because the next week was actually a scheduled spring break anyway. So that gave us 2 weeks, and we transitioned all of our staff to telework. They've been all home working, and we moved all of our classes online.
Wow.
So every aspect of our college changed literally in a matter of just a couple days. We're pleased that we were able to keep all of our staff employed. We did have to give some new duties and things that they couldn't keep busy on campus, obviously, anymore. But we were able to keep all of our staff employed. And many of our staff right now are spending their day reaching out to students, because that's our focus is student retention and trying to get students through the next couple weeks yet left of the semester. So we're on the phone, we're on emails, and we're even catching them on social media and trying everything that we can to keep students engaged. It's such a difficult time for all of us right now, and at the college, especially, we're dealing with students who were only an alternator away from dropping out of school before anyway. And then you throw this crisis, a pandemic, where the whole world is impacted by it. And so we know that school is probably one of the things that is going to be at the top of the list to be given up when things get going too tough. So we're trying really hard to continue to provide the support that we always provided on campus, but now we can't see them face to face, and we're doing the phone calls and the reaching out and encouraging everyone as much as we can to continue with. We've only got a couple of weeks left now, so they've gone this far. Don't lose it now. Let's hang with it.
Yeah.
Through it. So that's our primary focus right now, is getting all of the students that we can through the semester, even with the struggles that they have and that we have all around us.
Sure.
For one thing, it's going to help in the fact that this will help assure that we will be able to get good, healthy food to our children. And that'll be done in numerous ways and their families. Some of it will be done through a backpack program. And some of it will be done where the families will actually come in, and there may be a couple teaching lessons on how to prepare really good, nutritious food. Another thing that we will be using it for too is through the summer. In the summer, we have a huge summer program that I don't think a lot of people are aware of. We have summer adventures, we call it, that runs 5 days a week. So we have children here, and that helps us assure that we will be able to make sure these children get good, healthy breakfast, a good, healthy lunch. On weekends, they're going to be sent home with stuff. So how thrilled I was, and as Father Jerry was, when I told him that we received this grant, because it'll help us assure that our children and our children's families get not only good healthy food, but which is very native, like the wild rice and the maple syrup, and how to prepare that stuff. So that is what we will be using.
I would love to tell you a story about what I experienced this past summer doing mobile distributions. Like I said, we increased them just tremendously. And I'm always so proud of Northwest Minnesota and where we come from and the way people react in a crisis. And so we go into communities with our truck, and there's lines of cars. I mean, like hundreds of cars in line. And this is from small communities to big communities. It doesn't matter. There are cars in line waiting to get food. And this has all happened within the same day, within two communities, within 20 miles of each other. But the people here care and are trying to help and want to do stuff to help. So in the first community, a lady, she had to be in her 80s, could barely see over the steering wheel, pulled up to get a box of food. And she said she lived in a senior living apartment complex, and she had 18 neighbors, but she was wondering if maybe, and they all kind of needed help, but she was wondering if maybe she could get like 4 or 5 boxes to take back. And I said, well, I thought you said you had 18 neighbors. And she said, I do. I'm like, well, do they all need the food? And she said, yes. And it didn't take 2 seconds for one of the guys to pull his pickup up, load 18 boxes, and drive them back and bring them all to their doors. And then we went 20 miles away, and this distribution happened to be in a school. There was a lot of teachers helping. It was in the summer, so school wasn't in session, but there was teachers there, and there was kids there for various reasons too. And a bunch of the teachers were volunteering, and a couple of kids came out, and they're like, is this food for anybody? And we're like, yes, absolutely, you can have a box. And they're like, oh, we're on our bikes. And I'm like, the boxes weigh like 40 pounds, and I couldn't see sending a child on a bike with a 40-pound box. I'm like, well, we're going to have to come up with something. And it didn't. There was a teacher, she said, just wait here, pulled her Suburban over, loaded 5 kids in all the boxes they could take, drove them around town, dropped them off at their house, then brought the kids back so they could get their bikes. And I mean, this happens every day when we're out there doing it. And it just kind of just makes you remember why you live here, the way people are willing to help out and do good and make sure that their neighbors don't have to go to bed hungry. And, we are so fortunate to work every day where we can help people make sure they have enough to eat.
Absolutely.